Pro streamer right there. Apparently I had my desktop audio muted the whole time. Okay, so tonight we're gonna get back into some VS Code stuff. In particular, first we're gonna PowerShell editor services. Get checkout master, get full upstream master, get push origin master. Then and take a look around at our files here, our code action. Honestly, the main thing we're going to do is take out this line. Or we'll wrap this line around a configuration. Try to wrap it around a configuration and see how that goes. Which means we need a branch. Code, how do I? Refresh. So we're going to go to package.json. Bindings, commands. Menu, problem matchers, buggers, configuration. So, just put it here because it makes sense. We'll call it this for now. Bad name, but it can be fixed later. Type is Boolean. Baby. Hello, Adelio. How are you this fine evening? That's my little wave. I guess I could always queen wave. I don't have much room in the box that is my camera. You come here with full belly. This is good. It's good. You should always attend on a full belly. I made the terrible mistake when I was out. Oh, we're not doing PSC-UCM tonight, though. We're working with the PowerShell extension, or the VS Code PowerShell. We're gonna try and get so when you go into the Command Explorer, it initially does an automatic, like a refresh after it's done loading. I don't know if there is one. that was good of that. Do not know that there is a mind blower emote. There's some hype emotes. Bob Ross it. Pixel Bob it up. So right now I am adding to the package JSON. And honestly, we don't need to give it a description right now, but probably the initial refresh of the Command Explorer. This is a thing I don't understand why it does that. It opens two of them, but I don't know. Okay, that seems to be working. So right now when you do this, like so it's going to take a second to activate the extension. And then once it's done activating the extension, then you'll see down here that it'll start running. Or maybe not. But when we come here, it does an initial refresh. There we go. So what we're wanting to do is at least suppress that initial refresh. And then go from there. So we're putting in that. I don't know if it's a performance thing as much as a for whatever reason it appears to be causing a crash on the 2.0. So just want to partly see if we can get it to toggle. I think we can. We should be able to read the preferences. So just have a minute. Yeah, basically. So ultimately it's this line right here that's causing the problems. So if we go if let's see if we can find somewhere else that we're using. Okay, so VS Code. Where did I just see it? Oh, vscode.workspace. think I can do get or right, so VS Code so we're going to put a breakpoint there. Before I go any further, I'm going to restart to update. Because this is what Romero comes to the stream for, it's the updates. When they can't be Windows updates, then they might as well be VS Code updates. I say that as though Romero's actually in the stream. He's probably off eating or something. He's probably eating. Now I do need to go into debug and tell it that I want it to launch the extension entirely because I didn't do that last time. Or I didn't have a need to do that last time. I was working because I'd already built the PowerShell editor services and had made no changes. Of course, it's going to take its sweet time to compile. Oh, that's not good. I wonder if it has to do with the compiling and stuff. So now it's gone back to say it's stable. Alright. Okay, so that... Oh, if I minimize it, it goes away. I go to that one. Don't. That might not be good for the stream. Back. So I made this this playlist just for you.
Come and take a trip with us at clock through crazes of my hell. The downer of death is over tonight, so beware of the clientele.
But also, I actually legitimately like the song. That's why I added it to my my, not this playlist, but a different one.
It's a very simple recipe. Just giblets, guts, and goop for making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. Murder's on the menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop.
Yeah. Like the shirt. So now we have specified, so we have the visibility, and we have, so if I uncheck that, we're gonna let it actually load, and we'll start with that.
It's a very simple recipe. Just giblets, guts, and goop for making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. Murder's on the menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop, yeah. And it's all over the walls. And it's all over the floor. Your appetite's kind of fading away. I'm not so hungry anymore. We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. It's a very simple recipe. Just giblets, guts, and goop for making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup.
So we have PowerShell.
Murder's on the menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop. We making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. It's a very simple recipe. Just giblets, guts, and goop for making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. Murder's on the menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop. Yeah.
No. Okay.
Come and take a trip with us at clock through crazes up by hell.
Here we go. So Command Explorer initial refresh is set to false. So now if we go here,
Gonna slice two limbs like a playthrough, but I better grab your plasma cutter. You know why? We're making necromorph soup.
well, that was good.
Necromorph soup. It's a very simple recipe. Just giblets, guts, and goop for making necromorph soup. Necromorph
I know why. I know. Because it's this one I wanted to do that too. So this one's at 1.10.3. What I'm developing on is 1.10.2. Oh, but also.
Grabbing and a stabbing and a screaming death. They paint the walls with gore. Better grab your plasma cutter. Gonna slice two limbs like a playthrough, but I better grab your plasma cutter. You know why? We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. It's a very simple recipe. Just giblets, guts.
So we're going to close this.
Making necromorph
I didn't need to actually close it, but whatever.
necromorph soup. Murder's on the menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop, yeah. And it's all over the walls. And it's all over the floor.
And then I'm going to go to debug and I'm going to say I just want to build the client only. There's no reason to rebuild PowerShell editor services if we haven't touched PowerShell editor services.
We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. It's a very simple recipe.
Which just, you know, seems reasonable.
For making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. Murder's on the menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop. We making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. It's a very simple recipe. Just giblets, guts, and goop for making necromorph soup.
There's the
Necromorph soup. Murder's on the menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's enough. Oh, so it's pause. But why? That's why. Okay. So we're gonna let no. Equal that. And then what we're gonna do is if Command Explorer initial refresh. No. PowerShell sidebar that's way too big a name, but we'll leave it for now. There we go. We'll save that. Then we'll F5 that. Oh. Are you a dummy if you've never used Command Explorer? Well, I mean, Command Explorer's only been in there since version 1.10. So it's not like it's been around for a super long time. Further, I'm going to be honest and say it's not the greatest. It's a step on the way to what we hope will be much better. Basically what we want to do is we want to do something like show command here does. Eventually show command will come up. So we want something like this that allows you to ideally like pick modules and stuff. So like we can go into ISE say, and then you can select that, and then you'll be able to like fill out the details of the command. That's not going to work. But so yes, exactly like in the ISE, and so I've built it so far. That wasn't. I didn't want to step into that. So. There we go. So now if I come over here, it doesn't refresh until we go and tell it to refresh. So, The best part is like so I wrote it, and then it got into version 1.10, and I went to use it at work, and I was like, oh, here's the command. And when I was testing it, like it's a right click. It was a right click. I hope we got rid of the right click menu. So it was a right click to insert and to get help. Well, I'm like that's not intuitive. You don't know that you need to right click. It'd be better to have icons. So now we have an icon for get help command and insert command. So like if I just go here and say I want to get Azure RM or whatever this one is, I hit the pencil and it inserts it where my cursor is. Or I hit the help and it runs show help, which by default looks for online help. If it can't find online help, then it puts the help down in the command here. But for this one, of course, it did find online help. Because most of them, a lot of them will. But like, so if I go function AAA, so now when I refresh, comes back here. I can get help for that, and it just gives it to me right there. Because there is no online help for that. So, and these icons were provided courtesy of Octo Icons, I think that is. It's a GitHub thing. So, that was nice. That meant I didn't have to create icons. This one was, I can't remember where it's from. But it's just, they were just SVGs, so. So the VS Code side of it is written in TypeScript. And then the PowerShell editor services, which is the language server that VS Code talks to run the PowerShell and do all that stuff, is C#. And I kind of picked up TypeScript as I started doing this. I've worked a little bit in JavaScript before, although to be fair, it's been 5 to 10 years since I really did any JavaScript. So we go like that. That suppresses it. I don't really like the naming of this, though. It's too long. Even if we made that a lowercase s to match this part. It's... I don't know, do we take off the PowerShell and just call it sidebar configuration? And again, like the naming of the initial refreshes. Yeah. So TypeScript is technically it's a superset of JavaScript. On the changelog, I want to say it was JS Party, but one of the changelog podcasts, I heard one of them talk about TypeScript as more of a forced testing framework than a language per se, because it all like it gets translated into JavaScript, but it just enforces on you static typing and stuff. So like you'll do stuff like this. So private command is of type vscode.disposable. It does make for some interesting stuff. Like when I was doing the bugger up your buddy, I ended up with like a line that was like take this, like there was like 3 as statements in the line, just to convince TypeScript that I knew what I was doing and I wanted it to take like a string and turn it into a float and then an integer or something. So see, for some reason I was thinking this would actually be a little bit harder. See if I can. Yeah, so the language itself is written or is by Microsoft, so it makes sense that they would do a talk. From my perspective, I'd say like if you understand JavaScript, TypeScript isn't that much harder to understand. So like it means I have a lot of like this thing. So this is my library.get. So this basically just shortens element or document.get element by ID. But because get element by ID returns like just an HTML element, and I've said that number of cards input is an input element. So I have to tell TypeScript that yes, I know this is sending back an HTML element, but I want you to convert it to an input element. So, and then of course, like this ends up looking, so out, it's indexed. So that all gets translated into this JavaScript. So like if we go body on load, like it doesn't actually look much different from what I wrote when they translated it. At least for the stuff that I was working. So as I said, it's mostly like it's a forced type checking. But it's also not super strict because you can do stuff like this. Like I don't specify what, which I think this is allowed because it's on assignment. I think if I had gone, oops. I think if I change this to a let, and this becomes a semicolon, and then I do a side. Oh no, it doesn't even have a problem with that. Oh, because it's of type any. Yeah, like it still lets you do like stuff like this. So this is because if you don't explicitly say what type it is, it just gives it an any type, which basically just like an object in PowerShell. Anything can go in it. Okay then. I think what I'll do is I'll leave those like that. Anytime. thought I could provide some assistance or insight or whatnot. Command Explorer. I had to close that so bugger gets out of my. This is the thing I don't understand. So in VS Code, if I have two folders open that are Git repositories, I get this source controlled provided, and of course I'm pointing with my hands, just like I do at work, and you can't see where I'm pointing. I mean, you at least have a better opportunity to try and figure out where I'm pointing because you can see my screen and kind of make guesses. But anyway, so you have this, and you have this refresh button, like, and you can like click here to change and stuff. But if I say come over to this one, which is still the same, basically the same VS Code. It's just running it. It's the module I'm working on. And then if I come in here, this is a refresh. This is not. This button here is not the same as these. These are synchronized changes. This is refresh. This just basically goes and says, "Hey, did any other files change?" So to synchronize, you have to go in here and go to sync. Here is just a button because I have two of them open. And that I don't understand why, like source control when you have multiple Git is good, but if you only have one Git, it's honestly kind of terrible. Anyways, that's my soapbox rant for the day. It's not about Canada Post. They're terrible usability. You don't see the problem? Okay, so here's where I see it as a problem. So I've made changes here and I commit them. And now I want to push them to origin. I have to go to these and I have to say push. Over here, when I made those changes, this synchronize button became a cloud with an arrow pointing into it. And I just single clicked that button. Now, I will grant you that in this interface, I have less control than in that 3-dot menu. But in that 3-dot menu, I'm also missing some control. Like I don't have a way to switch the branch that I'm on. Well, that requires me to configure it, and then like I reinstall Windows so often that, well, I mean, I commit with Control Enter. Like I type my message and then I click Control Enter because it says press Control Enter to commit. It's the push that doesn't. Anyways, close this. Leave that. Go over to this browser. Oh, actually. Yeah. So, I'm going to compare and pull request. Summarize your pull request. Thank you, Dark Reader. Oh. Ah. Oh, like. Oh, I just realized that I have the 3 dots there. Okay. Anyways, add a configuration option to disable the initial refresh of the command score. Yes. I think I summarized the changes. And I think we're ready to merge. I think we're ready to merge. Yeah, like with one repo in your workspace, it's not intuitive. Like, I didn't even realize that, like, how unintuitive it was until I was trying to actually do something. Because to be honest, most things I do through the terminal. Like I have like this to visually see stuff, and occasionally like I'll try and move stuff around with it. That was a really sudden like stop in the ambient music. But I very rarely use like graphical stuff for source control. That one that apparently I completely closed is Git extensions version 3. So it is written in .NET Standard, I think. So it's Git extensions 3.0. It is yeah, it's so it's built on the .NET Framework 4.7. Yeah, like actually at work I have my pause key bound to open Commander. So it pops down from the top, and I hit it and it disappears again, and so I can get into a terminal with like just by hitting a key. I actually have pause break bound to if Konimu, the process behind Commander is just like a custom configuration. But if pause break, like I have it, if that's not running, then it will launch it. I also have my numlock key bound to something similar. If the calculator is running, it will bring it to the front and focus it. If it's not running, it will run the calculator for me. And I don't have a problem with my num key turning off anymore because I have a auto hotkey that says if I press numpad page down, turn numlocks on, and send whatever the numlock page down is, like what number I should have pressed. Auto hotkey. Auto hotkey is the best. This isn't actually gonna load it. Oh, maybe it will. Yeah. So actually here I don't have, on my one here I don't have anything except for I created some mappings for if I hold the caps key down. So Commander, the CMD ER, is a configuration of conemu. So it just does some things that I like better. Although, well, I don't know that I'd say that it's like it better than conemu. It's just it's already configured. So I actually installed it again at work today, just with Chocolatey. Actually, let's do that right now. And while that's loading, I'm going to go here and go never seen the ADFS page, or to be fair, OneDrive with Dark Reader. Apparently, it's one of those ones that half works and half doesn't. Or it works until it doesn't work again. Modified it yesterday. Can I open it in the text editor? Perfect. Yeah, but it's doing stuff like this. I don't know how you can see it. I can't really bring it onto the screen, but like, so everything around the files is dark, and the files themselves, instead of having black names, they're light gray because the Dark Reader had loaded them, but then they changed. Unknown. I don't care if the encoding's known. I want conemu. Plus, for what I was doing, like, it's whatever. I can turn it off for a few minutes. There's two things I always do in my script. I have a set timer on updated script. Every 5 seconds, it runs this updated script section where it checks the attributes of this file. If it's set to archive, it unsets archive and then reloads itself. And the thing with that, my understanding of the archive bit is when you modify a file, it turns on the archive bit, saying that, hey, this file's been changed. Next time you come around to it, you need to archive it. So this uses that, and it does a couple. Then I always add this caps lock return. So now I can go like that, and I hit save. Now if I hit pause, since it didn't have it running, it's loaded it. Alt P. And we're gonna do our make PowerShell. So that I always have a I always have a PowerShell terminal or cable Y on which the like on the pause break or quick cell. The archive bit. So let me just like that. Oh, I know why. Menus don't work. Always on top. Excel. Oh, child.
I think so too. She's down.
Do not use if sealed, broken, or missing. Well, what if? There we go.
We can go in. I could sing all my life. Do 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 do. I'm in. I'm taking the orange juice.
Okay, so take the orange juice, child. Okay. Pause break, modifiers, none. Okay. There we go. Okay, so my understanding of what happens when you save a file in Windows, it sets the archive bit. So this checks if the archive bit is set, if the on the file itself. So it's a_script full path maps to this autohotkey.ahk file. So if the archive bit is set, it will unset the archive bit, and then it runs the reload command, which reloads it. So that's why when I added this in, like, so I can go, so hitting pause break is just loading this as we expect. I can do message box. Now when I hit save, what you see down here is within 5 seconds this icon will disappear and come back. Right about there. Now when I hit pause, I have my message box, and then it does the thing. So this just allows me to make changes to my file and have them take effect relatively quickly. I can't remember where I found this. I found it in a random place. Yeah, and so you'll, like, if I go like message and like that and save it, then it'll stop and say, hey, that's wrong. The script wasn't reloaded. The old one will stay, which still has this. So because it already cleared the archive bit, then I can just go fix the error, hit save, it reloads again like normal, and everything is fine. So it's not perfect. I've not personally had this cause issues, but I have a coworker who says that it never reloads for him, and we haven't really spent the time to look at it because I'm like the only one who is constantly modifying my things. Like so I have these that are H, J, K, and L are like they match what they do in Vim, and then I also have this Shift J is page down and Shift Shift K is page up. So, I think I might actually have it. GitHub.com. I think I have a repository of random AHK. So all this is really is just what I had there without the num or without the pause break that I just added. Anyways, I should get back to this. I think that's what we're looking for there. And then go. Okay, I gotta run and check on something. Be right back. Okay, apparently it's just the neighbor breaking up ice. You heard some like thumping and thought it was like coming from like right outside the house or something. Go close that. Oh no, it's fine. That's fine. Neighbor's breaking up, so I need to go watch. That's why also I took my phone so I could film it. Nice. So, before I do much more, I'm going to go octobox.io. Oh, there was a comment on that. Oh, this is going to be good. Yeah. I'm kind of I've extracted myself from considering Hyper as a viable terminal within an enterprise environment because they refuse to honor configurations that you can make in Node and VS Code and virtually anything you can configure to say trust the certificates that my operating system trusts. Hyper refuses to allow that. Their workaround is that, well, you just go and do npm yourself because that's more secure than them just, yeah. And then they try to claim that it's like an upstream thing, and it's like, well, no, the tool that you took and modified supports this, and you haven't brought that support in. So now it's your fault. But anyways, I digress. Okay, I said I wanted to close that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to archive them all. And these ones. See? That means we're good. Hyper.js. It is... yeah. It's interesting. It's basically VS Code's terminal. Pulled out of VS Code. Basically, it's not actually VS Code's terminal, but it's a terminal based off of xterm.js, which is what VS Code's terminal is based off of. And so it allows you to, like, it allows a lot more customizations than Conhost does. But so far, I found more drawbacks than and more hassle than it's worth for me. Because at work we use a next generation firewall that does what is effectively a man-in-the-middle attack. It takes it uses a certificate that is trusted by all of our domain computers, and it decrypts the traffic and re-signs them with its certificate, and sends that along. And this works fine. VS Code is able to figure out that, hey, I should trust the hell, even Firefox can be beaten into submission of trusting the operating system's browser or the operating system's certificates. My problem isn't that it doesn't like the certificate. My problem is that it doesn't like the certificate that my operating system trusts, and they will give us no way of trusting what the operating system trusts. And if you can't trust what the operating system trusts, why are you running on that operating system? You can spout security all you want, but ultimately the operating system is more powerful than your program. If you're not able to trust your operating system, yeah. Particularly in my case, like the certificates that they're refusing to trust are in the computer certificate store, not the user certificate store. So you have to elevate to administrator in order to trust any, like, to add anything. The certificate is installed in our trust. It's installed through group policy. It's not a self-signed certificate. It is signed by our certificate authority, and our certificate authority is a trusted root certificate on all of our computers. It doesn't like that. There are a lot of things that don't like that, but pretty much everything that doesn't like that. So VS Code had this problem initially. It didn't like it, so you'd look for updates and it would just say, oh yeah, there's no updates. When in actuality, there was updates. And you could go through the browser to get it. So there was a setting that you could toggle to say that, like, skip certificate check, basically, is what it does. But yeah, it's just, like... And I don't know if it's that we're failing to articulate to him how big this actually is in, like, largest companies, or if he just doesn't care, or, but, like, because of the hassle, it's just like, in order to do, like, to make changes to it, like, so I changed the configuration, and then instead of, so I changed the configuration, then it pops up 5 times or 6 times or whatever saying, I couldn't update, I couldn't update, I couldn't update, I couldn't update. And then I go to the terminal and I run a manual command to do the update. And then I get to see if my change worked. This is not the way that it works. Like when I'm here, if I install it and I make a change to that file and I hit save, I see it immediately. So it's not a good user experience for me. And the more I run into these, like, what to me are user experience issues, I want to come up with like a Twitter handle that'll be like Swift on security, but for user experience, like for UX stuff. And just like at least once a day spout off of, this is a usability nightmare. I think this stream has mostly just been me ranting. At least I feel like it has been. Close that one. Your security broke my UX. But it's not even that he's like, it's not even that it's more secure. And to be fair, security is about risks and about trade-offs between usability and security, like, and being secure. And like, like it like we were at home, or not at home, I was at work, and a coworker said, like, how long is it until we have houses that don't even have light switches in them? And I said, well, so what are my kids gonna do? Like, well, they'll just turn the light off with the iPad that's on the wall. Well, if there's an iPad on the wall, why isn't there just a switch? But it's a good thought. Like, we are moving to a place where we don't need light switches on the wall. Like, my next investment in in some type of smart home technology might be smart light switches. Because I need the ability for my kids to be able to just walk into a room and turn a light on, turn it off. And I would love the ability to, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and instead of walking around the house turning all the lights off, I just go on my phone, or as I'm walking out the door, I yell, "Hey Alexa, turn the lights off." And it just does it. I think that would be a worthwhile investment in light switches. Can do that. I don't need no fancy light bulbs. I just need something that will turn it off. Whether it's voice command or phone command or whatever. I use the Echo Dot. As you can tell by the fact that I picked it up. This is the entirely wireless one. Completely wireless. These are not plugs on the back. Not plugs. It's wireless, so it just sits there. Yeah, with Alexa you can use that type of thing as well to like start off routines and stuff. I'm just with just an Alexa, I don't know what I can do with it. Like, he's like, oh, you want to read me my schedule for the morning? Well, I'll tell you what my schedule for the morning is. When I get into work at 8:30, then I'm gonna look at my ticket queue. I'm gonna spend an hour and a half dealing with tickets, and then I'm gonna go from there. But I don't need to know what my calendar for the day is, because I know what I do when I get to work. And but I can see the utility of them, especially as you start adding things to them. But it's such a gateway drug. I mean, I've got this puppy. I don't know if you can read it. Amica, I think. Node MCU Amica. It's a ESP8266. So far I've got it flashing lights. My plan is to hook it up to the RFID module that I have. And also into Wi-Fi, and have it so I can walk up to my garage door and just swipe a card and have it open. I had it working, and then that hard drive, I don't know where it is. Actually, it might be in my kid's laptop. Might still have the code on it, but I can probably just do it all over again. Because for the garage door, like I have a relay, so it's just like touch the wires together and then the door opens or closes. I might figure out some sensors that I can put somewhere to detect when the door is closed versus open, so then I can have like something on my phone that will tell me. So I don't know what I want to work on. Actually, let's take a look at something here. We're gonna go looking through Git Lens. Oh yeah, the Home Assistant project. I got coworkers that I have a coworker that has one, and another one that's looking to build one up, and the ability to have it like interact with and kind of be a middleman between things that don't typically talk to each other. The thing I really wish I had on here was Google Play Music. I tried the Amazon Prime Music, and at the time they didn't have the like pay more for better music part. They just had Amazon Prime Music, and it was like, hey Alexa, play Ed Sheeran Divide, I think is his latest one. It's like, okay, here are 3 songs off of his latest album of 15 songs. It's like, but what, why? Okay, so I own the album. Can I upload it? Well, no, you can't upload it. But you compare it with Bluetooth to your phone. Well, then what good's Alexa? I wouldn't care if I had Spotify Premium for that reason, but then I canceled it because I was like, I don't really need it. Because the Google Play, like the thing I really like about Google Play is, so I go and buy the album. I go buy, or my wife picks it up in the store. My wife goes and picks up like the Ed Sheeran CD from the store. She's in a store, she likes the CDs or whatever. I can rip it, and then I can upload it into our Google Play Music, and then it's available from the cloud or not from the cloud. Like, it's available, we can download it, it's all good. Can't do that with the Alexa. And the only suggestion that Amazon was able to give when I asked them about it was pair your phone, which works, but to me it defeats the purpose of having Alexa control it. Like, I then can't say Alexa pause or Alexa what song is this, because Alexa doesn't know. See, so like when I switched to this one, it does a refresh. Just start me a rant podcast. Then I'll just end up like grumpy old geeks. And no offense to their podcast, it's a great podcast, but it got to be too much recently. Like they were putting too many for me, putting too many out, and yeah. And also when they were like, they made some comment about like professional developers don't debug, like, because somehow rubber duck debugging came up for them, and they're like, well, that's not how professionals do it. And I'm like, you've never met a professional developer, have you? Because I have physically given rubber ducks as gifts to professional developers, because it's like when I left my last job, my boss, who was a professional developer, I gave him a rubber duck because he was no longer going to be able to turn to me and say, hey, so we've got this problem, and use me as the rubber duck. Like, they basically, I think, from what I understood from what they were saying, like, because they're like, oh, I used to do this and no one does. They were talking like waterfall, like, you have everything, you know exactly what your program's going to do when you start out. And it's like, yeah, one, that's not how software is developed anymore. And two, even in those cases, you're looking at the code all day. You like, why isn't this working? And then when you start explaining it to someone else, and like, we see it all the time in Slack and Discord, and we all acknowledge it. It's like, thank you for being the rubber duck, because we start out of, hey, this isn't working. I'm doing this, and oh, there's the problem. And that's partly why I started streaming. Partly because when I stream, I tend to get stuff done. Maybe not so much tonight, but I get more stuff done when I'm streaming than when I'm not. And it's a good rubber ducking exercise, like, especially if I hit a roadblock, I'm talking, like, explaining it to thankfully I have a viewer that's interacting tonight. Sometimes I don't have any and I'm just talking to myself, but it feels less awkward talking to myself because there's the stream going. I'm probably gonna have to like label this as like Corebout Rants. I should go back and look at how long of this hour-and-a-half stream has been actual coding and how much it's just been me ranting about random stuff. So, speaking of podcasts, I have had persons suggest that I should go on the Power Scripting podcast. Persons who shall remain nameless. My thing is, I have no idea what I would talk about. What would people like to hear that I can provide to them? Other than rants about Canada Post and usability and like the thing is, I don't even think about usability all the time. Like I listen to Hansel Minutes, Scott Hanselman, and he has people that are all about usability, all about accessibility on all the time. And I listen to them and I'm like, I never would have thought of that. And some of it is like, so there was a thing that came up in Twitter recently. There was someone talking about like they were like, if our development teams were more diverse, would they be like, would these things be thought of? Because there's like harassment things going on with like Google photo sharing. Oh, talk to me, Gooseman. Here with the raid. Does that mean I actually have to code now? I've just been sitting here for 20 minutes yelling at Adilio, ranting about things. And how was your stream? I actually was intending on eventually getting into GitLens to look at, so maybe this will give me some incentive to go do that. HTML stuff's always good. You gotta have the HTML, otherwise it doesn't look nice. It'll look like my sites if you don't focus on the HTML. It is great, and the thing that I don't understand is every time you go to it, it seems to reload, and that's what I want to get working over here for the PowerShell Command Explorer. The problem is when I go and look at it, their code, like I can't. It's laid out completely different than the way that we do it for the PowerShell extension. At least if I recall. Because yeah, like if I come here now, file history, like it reloads it and bases it off of what you currently have open. Which now that I think of it, that actually seems like it's something that it just contributes, and I can find it in there. Just rewrite the whole thing. I have done that once or twice before. Well, it has a configuration. Specifies whether to automatically refresh the repositories view when the repository of the file system changes. Set auto refresh to on command. All right. have a good one. And welcome everyone from Back to Me Gooseman's stream. I'm Corbob. I'm such a pro streamer that I always forget this part. But I'm tonight I'm working on, right now I'm just splunking into the VS Code Git Lens code to see if I can figure out, as I was just telling Dr. Gooseman, how this reloads. So, although, as I also said when you guys got here, I've been spent the last half an hour ranting about usability and stuff to Adilio. That reminds me that I should probably at some point get my emotes done. I keep thinking of like I want to do like a Bob Ross pose and use that as it can be because it'll be Core Bob and then whatever I put on the end, so I can just call it Core Bob Ross. Hey, Ice Cube Networks. How are you this evening? Okay, so that's auto ref. Where is? I'm gonna have to go like this and ask that you not use that type of language. I should probably add one of those rules things up there, shouldn't I? So you're trying to find a developer for your website, and you've been looking for 4 weeks. Where have you been looking? Oh, and I should probably... No, I don't know. View takes in a view, returns a view that is a view. On did change auto refresh. Maybe, you know what? New instance. Pro tip. New instance. Don't try what I was about to try. Oh. Okay. That one. Starting a streaming platform like Twitch. I think you'll probably be hard pressed to find a developer to take on some like such a large task. Probably be better off like putting it in like breaking it up into bite-sized pieces. Because like to do streaming like Twitch, you need ingestion, and then you also need a site to distribute the content and whatnot. So, because like streaming is more than just more than just like a website. Like there's a lot going on in the back end, and in the case of Twitch, like I have OBS that is configured and is sending my recording to Twitch's ingestion stream or servers. Twitch's ingestion streamers or Twitch's ingestion servers then ingest my stream. Like so they take the stream in, they encode it in like they possibly encode it in a way that they need it in order to be able to then present it out on the other end. And they do this all within a couple of seconds. So, and then they also have transcoding servers that you can sometimes get. I don't know if I have any transcode options at the moment. It looks like I don't, so you're all stuck at 1200p. Sorry about that. But so yeah, the starting small would be have an ingestion server. Well, maybe not even have an ingestion server, just have a middleman server. But I honestly don't know how far you get with it, because you're not only competing against Twitch, you're competing against Mixer and YouTube and well, those are the three that I know of. I'm sure there's a few other ones out there, but Vimeo, does Vimeo do streaming? So you'd probably be looking for a team of programmers. not just like 1 or 2. Yeah, like I saw a tweet the other day from a guy who works at Twitch, and he said, yes, I work at Twitch. No, I don't know what's going on with something I hadn't heard of that was going down. Like, but I will do some so you can all stop DMing me and emailing me. I will like go look for something. Like I mean, I look at what we have at work, and like our IS department is like 60, 70 people, 80 maybe now, and I don't know that we would be able to come out with something like Twitch, like, which is not to say that our developers are no good. It's that it's a different focus. So, like, streaming is very specific, and you need to know a lot about it and whatnot. So, is that... You know, I can't remember why I had opened a new tab and what I was gonna load up when Talk to Me Gooseman raided. We're ranting something about usability or but that's what I want. Code.visualstudio.com. Oh, supports auto refresh. It is literally the only Google search result. You have all the files all done, then what do you need a developer for? On did change auto refresh. Subscribable view node. So TView extends view. Oh, no. So it's a subscribable view node that extends a view node. Okay. Yes, I am on that list. Barney of the Rubble. Or at least I was. All right. Right here. Oh, that one. I think I'm gonna close a few things here. Axle. That doesn't need it. Close that. I do have many leather bound. Although not quite empty. Well, no need to apologize for asking so many questions. Yes, it is. So is the one over here. That one's actually empty. I mean, oh, I spelled subscribable wrong. So view node, extends a view node. I do not have Monster Energy drink. I do not. I have not drank energy drinks in at least a decade. Now that being said, a decade ago I was thin, so maybe I need to go back to energy drinks. Oh. I don't think I saw your message earlier, Ice Cube. So you would install it yourself. It's hard because autism. Keep calm, or so you can't keep calm sitting there. To install them. Let's export. So a view node is just an ID. And then subscribable, no. Subscribable view node is just view, so it extends a view node. Go to definition. That's not what go to definition is supposed to. That's peek the definition. Or not. Now I'm confused. Okay, so it takes in a URI, which is get. Or which is a get URI. And it takes in a T view, and it has a parent that is a view node. Constructor is simply set the URI. What was that? That was a weather update, apparently. Okay, so that's... Oh, the indenting's weird here. And it has a toString, has a text URI, it has a get URI, it just returns. That makes sense. We get children, it returns an array of view nodes, or promise with an array of view nodes. It has get parent, which is okay. So this is abstract get create. So the auto refresh. See, I don't understand this. It's the at, like, it's the at sign in front of it. I am looking at the GitLens source code right now to try and figure out, because he has like an auto refresh in here. Like, this is all refreshing when you go to it. I'm trying to understand what that's doing. Thank you for the follow, Ice Cube Networks. All right, have a good night. I mean, it might just be easiest for me to go to the VS Code development Slack and ask him if he can offer some assistance. While I'm looking at this, let me see if I can. So that didn't work. Oh, I see. I can't. Okay, it is. Why is it so wide? Zero size width 1920 1200.
Put into the cathedral of myriad stars lit above it. Humanity will finally reach out from the deep well where it slumbered. And touch the tiny points of light.
Oh, there's spaces on the end. Why is there spaces on the end? This is the proper way to do it. Is just edit things in the middle of the stream. Do it live. Then if I go like, oh. We just go like that. Something like that.
And touch.
Seems reasonable to me.
Suspended in unyielding darkness.
Yeah. That'll work for me. Yeah, what I might end up doing is what might end up being a good option is to just because like it's refreshing on like line changes and stuff. Yeah, like all I really want it to do is when I come here, I want it to refresh. Like this is over the. I get why he does it because of this one right here. But all I need it to refresh is when I go to like so when it becomes visible, refresh it. Because as it is right now, like I can do, and I can flip between these till I'm blue in the face, and it'll never. It will never like actually refresh. Until you click the button. And then it refreshes. There's a code lens. So he's not firing on. He's firing on code lens. I look. Oh, there we go. No, that's on configuration change. On did change. That's the one. No, that's configuration did change. Flame state change, dirty idle. See, so I think then what he's doing is monitoring a bunch of change. Like through the Git or through the code lens, he's monitoring changes of the like editor. I think what I'm actually gonna have to do is hit him up on the Slack and see if I can pick his brain for a few minutes just to see, but I think he's monitoring the code lens. To see when these things change. And that's, so it's not actually, like, it's not actually on the focus of this, but it doesn't run until you select it. Sorry, which repo issues? Like the Git lens or the VS Code? Because the VS Code one is more me. Which really is probably just fine to say that just click the button. We could hotkey the button if it was that big of an issue. Or keybind it, I guess. So I'm gonna close that. Well, because the thing is, like, he already seems to have it where it refreshes. So I was looking through it to try and see how he was doing it, so he could do it in PowerShell. Because he's also, of course, I'm presuming it's a he, but I want to say the Git blame said his name was Eric. So, no, Control O. MIT licensed, if I recall. Yes, MIT license. Yeah. So I wanted to see what they were doing to try and replicate it over here. Oops. Over here. I didn't realize there was anything to say. I'm thinking I like Sean's suggestion of, I wouldn't call it a filter, I'd call it like exclude filter. Because it would be really handy to exclude all the Azure RM module ones. So let's do that. Still working on what I think I said I was when I started the stream, so there's kind of two ways to look at it. So this is two requests, I think. So we got so we want filter modules, just exclusions. But if you look at show command, it did it the other way. Like, you could pick the module to show. Because like I think what Sean was getting at here is, yeah. So you could put it in the workspace. To exclude. So I don't know which one's better, to exclude the ones you don't want to see or include just the ones you do. Or have an exclude and an exclude and have a solution somewhere in the middle. If you have an include, only include those. If you have an exclude those. If you have both, only do the inclusions. So, I need to... Can I do it from here? I don't know. Yeah, the drop down might be easier said than done. So notice that everything that's not included in is basically just tree views. Include via drop down, exclude via. So more exclude via settings and filter via drop down. That makes sense. Which and that makes sense as the way to do it to me is, so you exclude it via your settings, and then you have a filter option, and that might be partly where it becomes more like a tree view, in that you would have, if this was it, say like Azure RM and Azure AD. And then you expand Azure AD, so you would just have your list of modules, as a way to display it. I think that's where he was going with this part. So we need a configuration. I can go like that. Command Explorer. Would it actually be like this? Okay, so now we're just gonna run it as is, although I haven't made a new branch yet. So this is where I fall back to a GUI for. Still have that. Okay, so we can't go that many dots in. Well, we can, but then they become... Might as well have it PowerShell sidebar, Command Explorer, or we take the sidebar out. I'll leave that for as a conversation between Tyler and Rob and such. But okay, so we got that. Reload it again. Oh, that's reboot, not reload. Reboot. I come from the net. And that's as much as I remember. Okay, so register command, so Command Explorer refresh. So the result comes back and then we map it. First, what we want is constant Command Explorer exclude filter. Not equal an empty string. So I know how I want to do this, or I would want to do this in PowerShell. PowerShell would basically be result equals result.where, and then it'd be like $__dot module name not equal to this puppy right here. So that's how I do it in PowerShell. Now I figure out how to do that in TypeScript. Unless I do it as part of the to command. But we have a module name. I think we have a module name. So what we'll do is we'll put this here. Set a breakpoint there. We're gonna run. Run, run. Run, run. Run, run. Because then, when we get to that breakpoint, we can look at what result says. Well, you're not supposed to break. You have got to be kidding me. You failed on... Yeah, but I didn't mean to break the build because of the linter. Like, I appreciate all of the work that a linter does. I do. And here we're going down another rant. But the linter shouldn't break the build. It should warn, and it should carry on. Because while I'm developing, if my comment doesn't start with a space, who cares? Need it in the pipeline. You need to do what Fred and I set up for PSCUCM. Encoding overloaded. That's not good, maybe? Where is that one? I don't know. Still says the stream's okay, so... Yeah. Since you called out that it was a rant, I mean, I started off saying I was going into a rant, but still. Okay. So if I go here, it's not refreshing automatically because we told it not to. Now when I hit the refresh button, it should hit the breakpoint. After it's done spinning down here, it'll spin, spin, spin for a few seconds. So, result is an array of 5,000 things. That was a bad idea. Oh, maybe not. Okay. So I'm going to go to the debug console because then I can go result 0. Okay. 3. Perfect. So 3 dot module name. So now if I go to 4, so that would work. I just have to figure out that where part. Possibly. So I think I want map reduce is the host of a map which performs filtering and sorting. Okay, so it might be map that I want. So map. So map calls the callback function for each element in an array in order and constructs a new array from the results. Call is invoked for indexes of the array which have assigned values including undefined. It's not called for missing elements of the array which have been deleted. See, so I am returning something from it, but oh yeah, it is the most secure. I actually wonder if oh no, because it comes back. Result comes back as an object or an array of objects, and we need to turn it into an array of commands. That's why we're doing the map. But I wonder if as part of the map, what if this goes in here? What if that went right there? Well, that's still not going to do it. I should have stopped the build. This isn't going to do what I wanted, and the reason being is that we didn't actually it may be time for a break. This coding exercise brought to you by the following rant. No, that wasn't. Oh, because it's command dot module name. Ah, that kind of break. It'd be really embarrassing if Husky Potato was here to clip this and stuff.
Better grab your plasma cutter. Gonna slice two limbs like a blade through butter. Better grab your plasma cutter. You know why? We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. It's a very simple recipe.
So,
Just giblets, guts, and goop. We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. Murder's on the menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop. Yeah.
found one error. Oh. Did it run? Is it just tsc.w?
It's a very simple recipe. Just giblets, guts, and goop. We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. Murder's on the menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop. Yeah. And it's all over the walls. And it's all over the floor. Your appetite's kind of fading away. I'm not so hungry anymore. We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. It's a very simple recipe. Just giblets, guts, and goop. We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. Murder's on the menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop. We making necromorph soup.
Necromorph soup.
It's a very
Special recipe, just giblets, guts, and goop.
We're making necromorph soup.
Necromorph soup. Dinner's on the menu. Gonna
Grab yourself a scoop. Yeah.
boop, 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 boop. Part of, there we go. The sidebar config is the exclude filter is an empty string, which means that this if should fire.
Better grab your plasma cutter. Gonna slice two limbs like a blade through butter. Better grab your plasma cutter. You know why?
And that loaded.
We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. It's a very simple recipe. Just giblets, guts, and goop. We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. Murder's on the menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop. Yeah.
So we'll call it Azure RM, because that's what we leave it to be.
Gonna slice two limbs like a blade through butter. Better grab your plasma cutter. You know why? We're making necromorph soup.
Necromorph soup.
Soup.
Let's continue.
We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. Murder's on the menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop. Yeah. And it's all over the walls. And it's all over the floor.
Oh. Okay.
Your appetite's kind of fading away. I'm not so hungry anymore.
I might need to make this more efficient and not check it every single command.
It's a very simple recipe. Just giblets, guts, and goop. For making necromorph.
Yeah, I'm just gonna carry on running and
Murder's on the menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop. We making necromorph.
okay.
It's a very simple recipe.
So no, it doesn't. Soup. Mix up a little bit. We have like 6 songs on this playlist.
We were meant to be together, didn't care what others said.
Whatever.
We were meant to be forever. I've been dreaming about this moment. I can barely breathe. Feel like I've been drowning. Pulling me to the ground, tears streaming down my face. My chest hurts, I can't escape. There's no going back. Now will you miss
Oh no,
me?
in map. Right.
Will you think
Wait.
of me?
I don't know where we should be calling that one, but okay.
Your voice is calling me, but it seems so far away. Every word you ever said, every feeling.
Okay, so if I did this.
Let go, 'cause I know that this is hard, but it makes me feel so down. Can we turn it all around? Pulling me to the ground, tears streaming down my face. My chest hurts, I can't escape. There's no going back. Now will you miss me when I'm gone? Will you think of me when you're all alone?
Well, that didn't work. Other app V. So this module name is called Apex. Of course, this isn't gonna work. Wait. So this should be returning false, which means that we're stepping over it. So we're already so map's not what we want. Well, it is, but it isn't. We want to reduce it first. Calls a reducer function that you provide on each member of the array, resulting in a single output value. Accumulator current, no, we don't want it. So it's not a JavaScript array filter. Okay. A filter, we give it a callback function. So arrow. Module name not equal okay.
The seasons come and go like thoughts of you. Like a wave returns to the sea into the blue. They change, but in a cycle that I can't lose. Each painful but delightful to live through. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason, but I'll change.
It doesn't like that.
The seasons turn and change just like your mind. Like the sun gives into the moon, into the night. Time continues marching, it slowly crawls. With each new one starting, I recall. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time
Okay, so
for no reason, but I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season.
is this some stupid? Okay.
Each time of year carries memories, like a never fading whisper in the breeze. Oh, we will keep on changing all over again.
So wait, why is
Yeah, we will keep on changing.
so that's 4833.
Another season, don't want another day without you by my side. Oh, this season.
Why is that right there? Okay, so 4848. Why is it still 4848? Because I start resources, because why not? You know what? Forty-eight, 48. That one's false, as it should be. 4848 is now reduced down to 4815. There's the A command. And now we've skipped over to add Apex. I have a working prototype. However, can I do what I want to know is if I can go like this. That wasn't quite what I wanted, but oh well.
Somebody's out there, someone to call my name. Feels like I'm falling, feels like I'm out of time, trapped in a prison, a fortress of
No.
solitude. All my decisions, they let me survive.
JavaScript, wildcard, string compare.
You could never play pretend, and I would be your only lover, closer than your best of friends. We can build a life together, we can build a house of cards. But when the storm crashed in on us, you know I wasn't that surprised. Do you know the reasons? The reasons that we try. And do you know the reasons our love will never die? 'Cause I'm all for you.
I want to search for relay. So I think the next time Necromorph Soup comes on, that's going to be the end of the stream. Because it's getting kind of late. You're not? Okay, good. Exclude filter. I'm just gonna exclude A. See how this goes. So 48, 48. Now to 2264. Oh my god. And apparently it was the next song. I don't understand why.
You know why? We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. It's a very simple recipe. Just giblets, guts, and
The part I don't get is, like, if I step into this map command,
on the menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop. Yeah. Feeding and a bleeding and a drooling skull.
I don't get it.
Grabbing and a stabbing and a screaming death. They paint the walls with gore. Better grab your
So,
plasma cutter.
let's go.
Gonna slice 2 limbs like a blade through butter. Better grab your plasma cutter. You know why?
Output equal.
We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. It's a very simple recipe. Just giblets, guts, and goop. We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. Murder's on the menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop. Yeah. And it's all over the walls. And it's all over the floor. Your appetite's kinda fading away. I'm not so hungry anymore. We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. It's a very simple recipe. Just giblets, guts, and goop. We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. Murder's
Let's
on
try
the
that.
menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop. We making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. It's a very simple recipe. Just giblets, guts, and goop. We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. Murder's on the menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop. Yeah.
Okay. Close that. Click the refresh. Spinny, 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 spinny. Boom. Oh. Take that lead out of there. Okay. So we're gonna go like this. Right over here. Why did that open? Well, that was probably not supposed to happen. So, one last shot at debugging. I don't know. Yeah, it is. And I'm going to do just that. And then next time we pick it up, we might dive into irregular, non-expressive things called regular expressions. Good night, Adilio. Thanks for hanging out, listening to me rant. All that. Ooh. Tyler pointed out part of the API that might be helpful. So we'll tackle that part tomorrow. Or Sunday. I'm not sure yet, but yeah. Have a good night.